God made you. Thank you for joining Mighty Sound Kids for today's life story. Our story begins in the park on a beautiful Saturday, where we meet Andy. Andy loved Saturdays because his dad would take him to the park. On this day, Andy was amazed at all the kites flying, and he started thinking about having his own kite to fly. He told his dad, "I want a kite, but not like the regular kites they sell in the stores. I want to design my own kite, and I have some ideas on how I can really get my kite flying higher than all the others." Andy's dad encouraged him and said, "I believe you will make your kite unique, son. Let me know if you need my help." Andy went to work on his kite right away. He drew plans on how he planned to construct his kite. His dad was proud of how much effort Andy was putting into his kite project. He liked how Andy started by drawing out his plans and getting things organized to make his kite just right. Andy's dad told him that a kite competition was announced at the park and said, "I think you will be able to enter the competition, and I will make sure we are there on time." Early the next morning, Andy raced out of his house with the kite he made. He was so excited. It was time to practice before the big competition. Just as Andy planned, he had made an excellent kite, and it was catching the wind perfectly. The kite whipped around in the sky, and Andy believed that he had his kite higher than the ones he saw in the park. Suddenly he heard something snap. It was the string, and his kite was flying out of control. The wind blew Andy's kite completely out of sight, and it was nowhere to be found. All that was left was the handle and half of the kite string. Andy was so sad. He sat down and began to cry. "The kite I designed and made with my own hands is gone. He had worked so hard to make it. It was the perfect design, but he realized that he need heavy-duty string to handle the super kite." He also was disappointed about the upcoming competition. That night, Andy had a dream that he was flying his super kite. It was perfect and he loved his kite. It was so strong and fast. The way that Andy feels about his kite is a good reminder about how God feels about us. God made you special and unique. There is no one like you and you're his treasured possession. He made you for a reason. He knew you before you were born and he knows everything about you. Regardless of what anyone tells you, know this: God created you and he has a wonderful plan for your life. The next day after Andy's dream, he was walking through town, and he spotted something familiar in a store window. It was his kite that blew away, and next to it was a sign that read, "Handmade kite for sale." Andy shouted, "That is my kite. I made that kite. They can't sell it, it belongs to me." Andy rushed inside the store. "Sir, the kite in the window is mine," Andy told the manager. The manager yelled back, "It is mine now." Andy tried to explain what happened, but the manager would not listen. He said, "I don't know if the story you're telling me is true or not. If you really want it, you can buy it for $20. Andy was angry and left the store. Just like Andy's kite, you were made for a purpose. God made you unique. Nothing about you is an accident. God put every detail about you in place for an ultimate purpose. Do not look at others and wish that you could be like them. You are special to God. He made you and he loves you. No one was made like God made you." Andy didn't give up. He planned to work hard and earn the money he needed to buy back his kite. He put a lot of effort into mowing lawns and he didn't complain. He knew in his heart that God was helping him through this situation. He believed that he would fly his kite in the competition. Andy earned all the money he needed and a little bit extra to purchase some heavy-duty kite string. He was so happy to have his kite back in his hands. He knew this was going to be a good day. He was finally ready for the competition, which was being held the very next day. The competition began and Andy's kite raced up, and up above all the other kites. Andy's perfect design and building skills were really paying off in the competition. Everyone was amazed at how Andy's kite could fly. The judges had never seen a kite race up above all the others. This was the best that they had ever seen in all the years of competition. They announced with excitement that Andy's kite was the winner. Everyone cheered and celebrated with Andy. Kids, we all have times where we wish that we could be someone else. Perhaps you've wondered, why am I even here? You are here because God loves you and He has a plan for your life. He will show you, and if you spend time in prayer, you will understand more about God's plans for you. Choose to believe the truth that God made you with a special purpose. Thank you for joining Mighty Sound Kids today. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, follow us on Facebook.